Okay, so we're back in the Lexus IS 350 F Sport, going down lots of big bumps. Now I want to talk a little bit about the control layout. What's interesting is that this car did not come with a manual. We looked for it. In fact, my son was riding in the car at the time, couldn't find, it was like feeling around here, couldn't find the button to open the glove compartment, which is this, which does not contain a manual. All right, there's actually a little slot for it there, but it's not there. And it's not here in this part either, which is a nice little cubby hole, and probably much more useful than this one. Here are the controls that we figured out and we didn't figure out. So it's so thoughtfully laid out and well done that you don't need a manual to figure out how to operate this car. It's instinctive. You just look for something where it usually is, and there it usually is. There's a couple of things which are, I don't know if they're out of place, they're in different places. This button is usually a little lower down in most cars, and of course if you're coming from an old car with a key, it would be somewhere here, but never mind, that's where they put it and that's where it is. The analog clock is really great. It's not just a retro touch, it's actually because it's easier to read an analog clock in a digital world. That's why we still have needles on the gauges, right? Because it's just easier to read, and we're used to reading that. Okay, so as I said previously, the aircon is very, just press auto and that's it. Okay, and then you can set the temperature with these handy dandy little, oh crap, I set it like differently. Anyway, there, it's back to where it was. Oddly enough, this thing comes with a CD player, which is of course a disc player. You can play videos on it because there's a big screen. What I thought is remarkable is that the screen is fixed. It does not sink down or fold or anything like that. It's there. If it does fold, I haven't found out how to do it, right? What other things? Oh, we were looking for a handbrake. There is no handbrake lever, and there's no foot brake pedal. Finally, Jomar found it, and there it is. It's kind of an odd place because I don't know any other car that has the handbrake in that particular location. And it's a button, so it's a soft control, not a hard control. It obviously operates some kind of a servo or something. But there's also this. This is interesting. It's called a brake hold. It's the transmission, in effect, right? And it holds the car in place using the brakes. In other words, not a separate handbrake, but the brakes themselves. So that's kind of a useful feature for people. It would have been a more useful feature if it was manual transmission for those people who, have difficulty driving a manual transmission up and down a slope. But there it is. Then there's like this trackpad here, which is supposed to affect the screen in certain instances. I'm not sure how to do it. I don't know what this button does. I thought it would raise and lower the screen, but it doesn't. Anyway, map, menu, and back, which is very useful because map is probably the feature that you use most often. If you press menu, you get all sorts of that, and then you can sort of use the trackpad. See, it presses, and then you want that thing, you press on it, and that's what you get. You get the phone. Oh my God, it's transferring contacts from my phone. I told it wasn't allowed to do that. Annoying. Let's see what happened. Did it actually transfer any contacts? No, it did not. Good. Then if I want to go back to map, I just press map and there we are, see? So kind of handy. And the controls at the wheel are a little bit different. So the wiper, we're used to wiper controls where you click it up to make it work or click it down or whatever, and there's usually 2 or 3 clicks. This thing has just one position up and one position down, and it returns to the center in each case, right? So if you want to make it wipe once, you move it up. I'm going to do that even though it's not advisable to wipe a dry windshield. Okay, now if I had clicked it down instead, it would be continuous, and then if I click it down again, it gets faster, and then down again it gets faster, but it always returns to the center, you see. So that's a little bit different from what I'm used to, but hey, it's a minor thing. The horn is where it's supposed to be. I don't really like those European cars where they have the horn at like the end of the stalk or something like this. The lights are modern, so there's an auto position where we leave it most of the time. It's in auto now, I think, and that means that when it gets dark, the lights just turn on by themselves, and when it gets bright, the lights turn off. And there's an intermediate position for running lights, so you know. And then there's a bunch of steering wheel controls, which are pretty much, you know, the phone and then the mirrors up there. This is the same thing as the mouse over here, all right? And then there's menu back. I'm not sure what this, traction control. Oh, you can turn off this annoying, oh yeah, that's one of the things that I wanted to point out. This proximity sensor is really annoying. Every time some vendor walks in front of your car or some motorcycle cuts in front of you, it goes beep, 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 you know, which, you know, once or twice is not annoying, but when you hear it the whole day, because Manila is so crowded, it is annoying. So I guess you can turn that off or get it to different levels or something like this. And then what else? Oh, this thing is very nanny state. Let me show you. So source, the audio is off. Let me turn that on. So turn on the radio, right? But what if I wanted to do Bluetooth? So I do Bluetooth, right? And then let's say I want to add this device, okay? How do I do that? Stop, and then Bluetooth. See, it's not instinctive. It took a long time. So my kid, who is 16, sorry, you know, he spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out how to make his phone connect to the Bluetooth. And there you can get to a menu where it says connect, right? You press connect, and then his device would not appear. You know, there's this add device button on the screen, and then it wouldn't appear. And then he figured out it's because the car is moving. So it only allows you to add a device when the car is not moving. It's a nanny state safety feature, right? So I stopped the car and he was able to add his device. But yeah, this car is full of nanny state thinking like that, like the proximity sensor and the seat belt alarms. If the car detects that someone is sitting in the rear seat and doesn't have their seat belt on, the seat belt alarm will not turn off. It'll be insistent, it'll be like beep, 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 beep. So what you can do is simply attach the seat belt, even if you're not wearing it. In other words, you sit on it or something like this, and it'll turn off. But it's annoying. It's annoying. So here we are in Quezon City, and it looks like the road we're going to is closed, which is annoying, but we'll just go around. It's not a big deal. So yeah, as a, you know, just like you know, and some people are going to hate me for saying this, just like an Apple device, the manual is superfluous because it's designed so that you can figure it out if you have half a brain, right? And This one, somebody went through all of this and thought this out really, really well. So great job, whoever you are at Lexus, in terms of designing all of this stuff. One way yata yan eh. I think we have to go to the next one. So, you know, really, really well done, and simple. The great thing is it's simple. You know, this car has a lot of bells and whistles, but the control layout is really simple and instinctive. So that's it.